Now on Central Illinois Newsday, a message of change to collegiate students in Normal, why Democratic candidate Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan says young adults should get fired up about early voting. Then the potential for another record-breaking year in Congress, why more women of color running for the House of Representatives than ever before. Also whipping up some Halloween-themed magic in the kitchen, Chef Mark shows us how to make little Halloween pumpkins.
Central Illinois Newsday on WMVD starts now.
Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan today promoting early voting at Illinois State University. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us here on CI Newsday. I'm Rebecca Brumfield. Londrigan, candidate for the Illinois 13th District U.S. Representative seat, greeted student Democrats today. She says there are also many college students within the district. Londrigan saying the students are fired up and ready to vote for change. She thanked them for engaging voters and making sure people are registered to vote. Londrigan encouraging the students to vote early.
We want to make sure that every person has the opportunity to raise their voice with their vote. And as we have all seen with this pandemic, things change quickly. So we want to make sure that their vote has already been counted.
Londrigan is running against incumbent Republican Rodney Davis. Peoria city and county leaders are asking you to take part in a new commission on racial justice and equity. In a joint meeting last night, all of the present city council and county board members were in favor of getting this commission up and running. They say they want a diverse group of different ages, races, and genders to form a coalition to address and improve racial issues in the community. In addition to the commission, there will also be subcommittees focusing on housing, jobs, education, transportation, youth development, and more. Last night, there were also 4 comments from community members, 2 for and 2 against the commission. Current Mayor Jim Ardis says a diverse input is what they're looking for.
We're moving this forward because it's important. And for the people that might think this is unnecessary or that it's not relevant, I would say you should be involved as well. We need to hear divergent opinions here. We need to have good discussions in our community.
City and county leaders say this has funding through grant funds, so this isn't costing the public. Once the commission is formed, the meetings will be open to the public so everyone will know the commission's status and progress. They say they're hoping to start this as soon as possible, and we have a link for the application process over on our website, ciproud.com. Guns stolen from a business in Creve Coeur. The police department announced on their Facebook page that several suspects burglarized Thompson's Trading Post. Around 2 a.m. yesterday, an eyewitness saw the suspects break into the business and then called 911. The suspect vehicle was located in East Peoria, and East Peoria police attempted to stop the vehicle when it lost control on Springfield and Field Grove roads. Now, the driver, 21-year-old Coriana Mitchell Pastroza, was arrested for burglary. Several suspects have been identified, and police are attempting to locate them at this time. 9 total firearms were stolen. Around 22 million Americans lost their jobs in March and April when the pandemic hit. About half are back to work now, but millions are struggling to find a job, and many of them believe being unemployed is hurting their chances. A survey from LinkedIn found 84% of Americans believe there is a stigma associated with being unemployed. 67% think it's impacting their chances of getting hired. But the vast majority of hiring managers say they would hire someone laid off because of the pandemic. The LinkedIn survey also found 46% of unemployed Americans lie about being out of work. And for the past week, the Soderstrom Castle in Peoria Heights has been putting on a music and light show for the community. Normally just on Halloween, but this year the owners extended it to 10 days. Steve Soderstrom with the most local attractions shut down due to COVID-19. They wanted to give the community something to do, and it's been a huge hit. He says they have seen around 1,000 people drive by every night. They will be giving out candy tomorrow night.
Everybody wear a mask, small family groups, and then the state of Illinois wants the candy distributed on tables far away. So we have a long pipe up there. We're going to be sending the candy down the porte-cochere.
The light show goes from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. nightly. If you haven't made it out just yet, there's still 2 nights left to do so. And coming up, Little Pumpkin's about to be made into a tasty treat. Recipe details and ingredients just a few minutes away.
You're watching Central Illinois Newsday with Rebecca Brumfield and meteorologist Molly Naslund with your local weather authority forecast. This is Central Illinois Newsday on WMVD.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Gina along with spokesman Rob. So Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You heard it, folks at home. Pick up the phone, call now.
The walls are closing in on Mike Madigan, but his machine keeps on running. Take Betsy Londrigan. Her campaigns, fueled by his lobbyist minions, set up a joint pact with a Madigan political organization. Londrigan's cash stained by the stench of corruption. Reports say the FBI investigated a Londrigan donor raiding his house. Imagine what Betsy Londrigan would do behind the walls of this house. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Nobody does football like FanDuel Sportsbook. It's a Sunday night showdown in Philadelphia. Get an exclusive odds boost on either team to win. Bet every snap of every game and get your winnings at as little as 24 hours. There's always more ways to win on FanDuel Sportsbook. New users get exclusive 25-to-1 odds on Dallas or Philly. Bet $5 to win $125.
Professional politicians like to pretend they built America with healthcare takeovers, high taxes, and bloated government. But we know real people built America. I'm Esther Joy King. We built America through innovation, open pathways to work, hustle hard, and thrive, with honest healthcare prices and by keeping Washington in check. We built America with a burst of freedom, and it's how we'll build America anew. I'm Esther Joy King, and I approve this message.
Hi, folks, we're back, and we're here to remind you, if you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to tell you how much money you can get for your accident and how quickly. Hello, I'm Gina, along with spokesperson Rob. Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now, and we'll let you know how much money you can get for your accident.
Thanks, Rob. Call now.
You're watching Central Illinois Newsday.
This will be a historic election for many reasons. In Congress, it could be another record-breaking year with more women of color running for the House of Representatives than ever before. Nicole Killian went on the campaign trail to talk to some of them.
Hey! Pat Timmons-Goodson is back on the trail.
Thank you for coming.
I enjoyed it.
How did it feel? It felt like home.
We caught up with the congressional candidate as she resumed in-person campaigning at this drive-in church service.
Y'all, let's pray with our feet and go out here and vote.
Her latest stop, crisscrossing North Carolina's 8th district, one of the most competitive in the country.
What do you see as the key issues in this race right now?
Healthcare, healthcare, healthcare.
She got into the race after serving as the first black woman on the state Supreme Court, hoping to make history again.
You are one of a record number of women of color running. What does that mean to you?
I'm proud. I am excited. I'm hopeful. I'm prayerful. At this time in our nation's history, women of color are offering themselves.
A record 117 women of color are nominees for the House and Senate this cycle, 84 Democrats and 33 Republicans. Approximately half are African American and more than a quarter Hispanic.
I am running for Congress because many people in our representative offices aren't representing us.
Candace Valenzuela would be the first Afro-Latina in the House of Representatives if she flips her Texas seat.
This is a very powerful thing for me, but it's also very disappointing. We've had so many firsts over the last couple of years that should have been first a long time ago.
I will be the first Korean American Republican to serve in the United States Congress.
Young Kim is in a rematch in Southern California, where immigration has been a focal point of her campaign.
I'm an immigrant, and I'm a mother of 4, and I'm a small businesswoman. I want my story to be an inspiration for the next generation.
And for a Congress quickly becoming more diverse.
Looking at the possibility that we're going to increase that diversity makes me even more optimistic and hopeful for this country.
The current Congress is the most racially and ethnically diverse in history, but much of that is in the House. Over in the Senate, only 5 women of color have ever served in that chamber, including Senator Kamala Harris. So if she and the former vice president win next week, it would be historic, but it would also mean a potential loss for her seat on the Hill. Right now, only 2 women of color are nominees for the Senate this cycle. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And in celebration of All Hallows Eve, we're in the kitchen this Friday afternoon with Chef Mark Schupman. It smells amazing. It smells like fall.
It smells like pumpkins.
Yes, I am so ready. So what are we whipping up today?
You know what? Halloween is my favorite time of year is fall, you know, and I love Halloween. All the things that go around it, and then going into Thanksgiving, it's just the best time of year. So pumpkins, and I mean, there's a lot of pumpkin out there, a lot of pumpkin spice, this, that, and everything. It can be overwhelming, but this is kind of a fun little thing you can do with these mini pumpkins, even after the holiday's over. Maybe you've got them left over and you want to do something with them. They are edible. Oddly enough, they are edible. There are some that come with a paraffin wax over the top. You don't want to use those. You want to use these fresh ones. We have a little pie pumpkin here for pumpkin pies, and these are little decorative pumpkins here. So what I do with these is you just take them and you clean them just like you do a regular pumpkin. You take the top off them, you cut the seeds out, and then we roast the seeds because we're going to use those too. But what I do is I put a little bit of molasses in there, and you can use maple syrup if you want. I like molasses because it's so rich, it's so decadent. So we put that in there. We put just a little bit of brown sugar in there.
My favorite.
I love brown sugar.
And then a bite just for you. You
know? Yeah, then a big spoonful. And then we just bake these in the oven. I put the top on there. I spray them with a little vegetable oil. They go into a preheated oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. But you got to remember that all oven temperatures are different, so you want to make sure you kind of keep an eye on it. So just the flesh becomes tender. The outside will start to shine. As you can see on this one right here, I've baked that one already. It really looks beautiful. It's the same thing. Actually, they were from the same family, I believe.
They are. So, they look the same, absolutely.
Same pumpkin family. So those go together like that. Now with those, you can take and you can put salads in them. You can put, if you want to, chili in there. You can do for Thanksgiving, put your stuffing in there when it's raw and bake the whole thing in the oven with the stuffing in them. So everybody at the table gets their own little individual pumpkin, you know.
Cute.
It's inexpensive, great with vitamin K and good minerals in there too if you want to eat the flesh out of it. So we're going to use something a little different today, though. We're going to make a very quick instant pudding. This is something even your kids can make. It goes together so fast. So what we do is we just take instant pudding. This is one little pack of instant pudding. I pour that into the bowl. To that, I add 2/3 cup of milk. You can use skim milk. You can use regular milk, whatever you choose. To that, I'm going to add a cup of pumpkin. This is just pumpkin right out of the can. Pumpkin pie mix, or you can use the seasoned kind. This is just regular 100% pumpkin. Okay. To that, we're going to add a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of pumpkin pie spice.
It smells so good.
Doesn't it smell good? It smells.
Just the aromatics.
And a little bit of cinnamon to that. And then we're going to just take that, and all you do is you kind of whip that up. So when you mix this up, you can do it with your blender, you can do it in a bowl. But what you want to do is you make sure you get it all dissolved. It goes together so fast, and then you just chill that for about 25 minutes. But right before it goes into the cooler, as we got it mixed up there, it almost turns into a mousse because we're going to add to that whipped cream, or Cool Whip, or however you like to put it.
Gotta get the H in there.
Get the H in there. It's a really good, and it makes it so light and fluffy, it almost turns into a mousse. So as this cools, it really kind of sets up very nice. You can adjust the flavors how you like. If you don't like this type of pudding, you can use whatever instant pudding you'd like. So it's whatever flavor is your favorite. But this sets up real nice, and then we stuff that into the pumpkins, little whipped topping over the top, and I've got some different little assorted candies. So for a little surprise, if you're doing it for the kids or for the guests, you can put the little candies at the bottom, sort of like a little treasure when you're digging in there to get those out the bottom. So it's kind of fun for a Halloween treat.
That's amazing. Well, while we let Chef Mark finish that up, we'll make some finishing touches and we'll check back in with him in just a few minutes. Here's a look at what's ahead. The sunshine sticking around for the weekend. Meteorologist Molly Naisland has your full weather forecast coming up.
Ready, set, internet. Extreme has the speed and price to get you online fast. Stop waiting and get going for as low as $19.99 a month for a year, with speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig, powerful in-home Wi-Fi, and 99.99% network reliability. Extreme has what you need to stay ahead and stay on track. Hurry and get Extreme Internet for as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Dial 844-EXTREME2.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Now is the time to review your coverage. It's also a great time to talk to United Healthcare and take advantage of a wide choice of plans and benefits, including the AARP Medicare Advantage Walgreens plan from United Healthcare. This PPO plan combines your hospital and doctor coverage with prescription drug coverage and more, like primary care doctor visits for a $0 copay, all for as low as a $0 monthly premium. Take advantage of preventive dental care for a $0 copay and a vision exam for a $0 copay, often with credits to buy glasses or contacts. Plus, pay $0 on your Tier 1 prescription drugs at over 9,100 Walgreens pharmacies nationwide. So ask about this PPO plan and other plans available. Annual enrollment ends December 7th. Call United Healthcare now to learn more.
When it comes to the holidays, some people have a lot of love to give. Like, a lot. Luckily, Kroger has a huge assortment of all your fresh favorites. So givers can keep giving all season long. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
There's something about Mary you should know. On top of a 30% pay raise that Mary Burris took from county taxpayers, Burris took a second tax-funded paycheck from state government and then pocketed a third paycheck from our pension funds. Working and middle-class families are already struggling under the weight of a bad economy. Don't we know enough about Mary? Our families just can't afford Mary Burris in the state Senate. Vote no on Mary Burris.
The Storm Tracker Network, brought to you by Linco Precision Ag Technology Solutions.
Now, your local Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Molly Naisland.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Some clouds and some sun in Peoria on our Paradise camera. A gorgeous afternoon and a fantastic way to wrap up a work week and head on into the Halloween weekend. Temperatures today, well, they are going to stay a little on the cooler side, upper 40s and low 50s across the area, but continual sunshine throughout the rest of this afternoon and into this evening. It is going to be a bit of a chilly night tonight, though, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But today, again, upper 40s, low 50s, not too bad. Saturday, temperatures tomorrow are going to make their way into the low 60s, but what's on the way for us as we head on into Sunday, watch. This system comes in from the north and drops temperatures from the 60s on Saturday to the 40s on Sunday. So it is going to be a bit of a chilly end to the weekend and a little bit of a chilly start to November. Throughout the rest of today, again, clearing skies will take us into the evening, but notice as we go overnight, winds will start to change direction just a little bit. We'll see temperatures down in the 30s overnight, then make our way into a very pleasant day on Saturday. Breezy southerly winds, a lot of sunshine. Notice how wind speeds increase as we go throughout the morning. Good news is it's still going to be a very gorgeous day tomorrow. Temperatures in the 60s on Halloween and a very pleasant trick-or-treating window for those of you who are excited to get out and safely trick-or-treat tomorrow evening. Sunday, though, now there's a lower pressure system right around our area that's allowing all of these colder temperatures to sink into not only central Illinois, but much of eastern United States. So a lot of us are going to be feeling the chill to get the first day of November started. But today is a little bit of a transitional phase. We're still dealing with a few clouds, but what we're noticing is that warm front. As it passes to our north, we're seeing the stronger southerly winds move in underneath it. This cold front is going to hold on until right after trick-or-treating hours wrap up in central Illinois. That'll cool us down to the 30s as we go overnight Saturday and into Sunday. We don't recover very far from that. Sunday's temperatures are expected to be right around the low to mid 40s. We do recover a little bit though into Monday. Temperatures on Monday will actually make their way into the low 50s. So we start to see that increase as we get into next week. Tonight, though, a little on the cooler side. Many of us seeing temperatures in the 30s. Not quite as cool as this previous night, though, with the added benefit of some southerly winds overnight. That'll help keep temperatures from cooling down quite as much. We'll warm up, though, very rapidly as we get throughout Saturday morning. Notice we go from the 30s to the 50s by noon tomorrow. So again, tonight, not bad. Down in the mid-30s. A cold night once again, but clear skies. We'll take ourselves into Halloween with temperatures in the low 60s. A little bit breezy, though, but a lot of sunshine. And then we cool down immediately. Remember on Sunday to set your clocks back an hour for the end of daylight saving time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Connections, power, and money. It's what matters to Sherry Bustos. Her connections got her in with the Madigan machine. Thousands in contributions from the same guys implicated in a bribery scheme. A $200 million fine. Bustos sold out. Voted with Pelosi 100% of the time and got her a seat in Pelosi's inner circle. Connections, power, and money. For Sherry Bustos, it's about her, not us. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Pull into your driveway in style. Relax by the pool in luxury. And give your front porch the facelift it needs with TSR Concrete Coatings, Central Illinois' premier concrete coatings contractor. Get beautiful concrete coatings installed in as little as 1 day, customizable and easy to clean. See the before and now the after. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than regular epoxy. They won't chip, crack, or peel. They're impact resistant and UV stable. Now check out these savings. Save 15% on your concrete coating project. Ask about 12 months, same as cash. TSR Nation is growing by the day with satisfied customers throughout the central Illinois area, and we want you to be a part of it. As a special bonus, call during this program and receive a free TSR swag pack with your concrete coating project. Call 1-800-338-1659. That's 1-800-338-1659.
Professional politicians like to pretend they built America with healthcare takeovers, high taxes, and bloated government. But we know real people built America. I'm Esther Joy King. We built America through innovation, open pathways to work, hustle hard, and thrive, with honest healthcare prices and by keeping Washington in check. We built America with a burst of freedom, and it's how we'll build America anew. I'm Esther Joy King, and I approve this message.
The following segment may contain sponsored content paid for by advertisers. The opinions and views expressed belong to their sponsors and not those of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees. You're watching Central Illinois Newsday.
All right, we're back in the kitchen.
Yay.
This Friday afternoon. So, Chef Mark, kind of remind us where we left off before we went to Molly's weather and kind of where we're picking up at.
Yeah, this is a great little dish you can do. It's so versatile, but these little pumpkins, you see them everywhere. They're kind of winding down now because around Halloween, everybody buys them up and stuff. But everybody being at home so much, doing a lot of cooking in the kitchen, this is a great little thing you can do with the kids. They can get involved. It's a lot of fun. It's actually pretty healthy. It's not too bad. I've got this pumpkin pudding that I've made, and all I've used for that is just canned pudding, and I put it with some whipped topping, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of milk, and we just whip that up, and we chill it, and we stuff it into the pumpkin. As you can see here, it goes right in. It's very aromatic, but it's so easy to make because it's just a few little steps. You put that in there, and then I've got all these little toppings. So you can go back, and you can decorate with, I got some little chopped M&Ms there. I got some of the pumpkin seeds that I roasted that were actually from the pumpkin. Some little candied walnuts and there, and some candy corn.
And then the best candy,
yes,
which is so bad for your health.
Candy corn. If you want it healthy, omit this. And then we put the top on there like that. You can add a little whipped topping to that. But it's so delicious for something fun to do. As you can see, it presents very well, too.
It does. It looks so nice. So now is it my turn to get to eat?
It is your turn. Yeah, dig in there and see.
And I've been smelling it, and I'm just like, can I please just try it yet? Perfect.
It's fun.
I don't want to, like, completely, because it's so pretty. Oh, I just threw walnut.
That's all right.
All right, let's try this, baby.
They're good? And it's, you know, it's very mild because, and it's so easy. Now, if you want to make it more complicated,
that is so nice.
You can add whatever you want to it. But I think this is easy and it tastes good. Simple food is good food, I think. You know, the simpler the recipe, the more apt people are to make it, and it's a lot more fun and it doesn't take so much time.
And you know, you added, I believe we adjusted the recipe just a smidge.
We did, yeah. I kitchen test these after I write them, and that one I had a little too much cinnamon in because I really like the pumpkin flavor to come through.
I can tell the spice.
Yeah.
The pumpkin spice is really nice.
And it just
nice
takes
touch.
a few, so, you know, it works out pretty good, I think, and you should try it at home because I think it's a lot of fun.
I'm about to just, okay, don't leave us. CI Newsday will be back with more.
I'm Sherry Bustos, and I approve this message.
Esther Joy King is running away from her record. Washington insiders shipped her in from Chicago just to run for Congress. But King lied about running 3 different companies. They were found to be non-existent. And King worked for Governor Rauner, but inflated her title and was ultimately...
Chris, my check. I'm getting there. You ready for my check?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook's latest can't-miss offer. Because when you make your first bet on Saturday's game, you can turn $1 into $100 if your team wins. All you have to do is download the DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook app, place your first bet on either Penn State or Ohio State, and make it rain.
Chicago billionaires are trying to fool downstate voters about the fair tax amendment, but you deserve the facts. The truth is, there's nothing stopping lawmakers from
Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
passing the fair tax makes it possible to charge millionaires and billionaires a different tax rate than the rest of us. The wealthiest residents in northern Illinois would help to fund downstate local schools and universities, driving downstate jobs and breathing life into our economy. Vote yes on the fair tax. Look who blew in from the Windy City. Esther Joy King, the hand-picked candidate of Washington insiders, just moved here from Chicago. The same insiders who want to cut Medicare. And King would take health care protections away from millions in Illinois, gutting the law that prevents insurance companies from denying coverage to people with pre-existing conditions. Esther Joy King. Time to send her back to Chicago. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
You're watching Central Illinois Newsday.
Well, Halloween is upon us, and for adults who would like to get a little buzzed with some sweet treats, we've got the guide on the candy that goes best with your favorite drinks. The New York Wine and Grape Foundation released ideal pairings for a boozy Halloween. It recommends white wine with Skittles and red wine with Snickers. For beer lovers, the Growler guys say that a porter goes best with Reese's peanut butter cups, and you can also try some Twix bars with another ale, a brown ale with Kit Kats. Interesting stuff, I think. I'm not a big drinker, so a little bit of pairings. I'm kind of just eating the snacks and letting somebody else have the drink. So
That was interesting, Rebecca. Actually, I never thought about putting Reese's with porters.
And I don't drink with
And like you
candy.
normally-
I just drink without. I don't need the
Exactly.
candy. I'll have a.
I never thought, you know, a nice beer would go good with this chocolate bar. I never really thought
Yeah, it's not
that
really-
way.
To each their own, though.
But to each his own, you know, it might be great.
It might work. It might work out.
All right, well, maybe I'll try it. But Rebecca, we have a few things coming up at 4. For one, we'll be talking with the Democratic candidate for the 13th district, Illinois' 13th district U.S. representative seat. We'll also talk to you about a castle owner who's making sure that kids have something to do this Halloween. I know it's not your normal Halloween, but this sounds pretty exciting as far as the music and the big lights. And then also we'll talk with some cast members at the Cornstalk Theater about a very exciting production they're bringing to you all today or tomorrow, actually, and it'll be all virtual.
And the weather's looking to cooperate for Halloween, but we still have a few dips along the way, at least between now and a nice warm up next week. I'll have that full forecast coming up.
All right. Thank you for joining us here on CI Newsday. WMBD News at 4 with these two starts right now.
Now your forecast first, sponsored by Feldco.
Well, good afternoon. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. Skies are clear. It has been a beautiful day. Let's take you out over Peoria. Nice